Yeah, but he was just on. We are recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he was just saying some of the stuff I don't agree with.
Such
What he
as?
says. Like, they asked him about does he still talk to John Terry since the Rio and thing. He goes, don't listen to Rio and Anton. Don't listen to them. They're chatting rubbish. John Terry ain't racist. I'm telling you now. Do you know where he grew up? John Terry ain't racist.
Who said this? My man.
Leo Knight, yeah. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And then you get this is what my issue was, yeah. I said this is what my issue is, yeah. You had the podcast with 3 white men. As soon as he said that, one of them goes, yeah, no, he can't be. No, this is what I'm saying. Like, what did they say? Something about they still allowed him to play for England or something like that. So he can't be. And I'm just like, but all of a sudden, because there's a black man there saying it, they're justified in.
Yeah, like they're because he's co-signed.
Yeah,
kind of like see, like, it's one of them. Like I mean, me personally, I think he's racist, innit? That's just like I don't think my mind will change on that, but it's not that deep, bruv. You know what I mean? He don't pay my bills, so whatever. Man.
And but then some of the other things, I'm gonna play some of it now. Yo, Counter Attack podcast, by the way, with myself, Daps,
Spence,
Lamin.
Yeah, keep liking, subscribing, sharing, and all of that. I think people are enjoying when all 3 of us are here. By the way, I always get at least 5 tweets when it doesn't even sound like a lot, does it? But 5 tweets that when everyone's in. This should be a good one. I was like, what the heck? But yeah, keep liking, subscribing, sharing. Hope you liked Pricey. I had a good feedback from the Pricey one, actually. I'm impressed.
Yeah, that was good. I ain't listened to the whole thing, but I kind of dipped in and out of it. But yeah, that was good, man. So,
we got a guest coming on, running late. So when he comes in, we'll just get into it. But I'm just going to quickly try to find the Leo Knight thing. Mate.
How long is it? Like an hour?
No, there's 2 parts. So I think altogether, the first one is like 55 minutes long. It's like an hour. The second one is an hour 20 minutes, I think. So I was just watching at my desk at work today. But I want to know your thoughts on what he says.
Who's this? The public or our thoughts?
No, your whatever, innit?
Lamin's thoughts.
I've always got an opinion, right?
Okay, let me see this.
Shout out Inter Miami.
Pardon?
You know about Inter Miami?
It is a ball ache, but
it's no.
Beckham's team.
Shout out Inter Miami.
What's it?
Call all these fucking superstars. Now you're here with me.
Oh yeah.
thing is though,
So he's talking about Peter Taylor, innit? Wait.
Signing you. So if clubs are ringing up and going, don't touch him.
Because they're signing off the back of what they fucking known anyway. I was finished a long time before people were signing me off. Yeah, you're going to come in and... People were signing me in 2011 talking about what happened in 2004. I'm sitting there thinking, let me just get this money and just fucking... Do you get what I'm saying? I'm thinking, bruv, you're not getting that out of me now. Because we did... First and foremost, we don't train like fucking... I did when I was thinking... Rushing was not every day.
Oh, is it?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's coming.
So
right.
you're...
Fast forward.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, just like that.
So you just kind of give up in a way?
No, I didn't give up. I just done it until
So I'm just trying
I
to
didn't
find
get paid.
Just fill in the satchels.
Until the money didn't get paid that I wanted to get paid. I didn't give up.
What was it you said to Peter Taylor about England?
Yeah, because he's like, you've gone from Chelsea to Wickham. And well, I said, bruv, you've gone from England. International manager, bruv. Oh my God. To here. You was managing Sheringham, Cole, all these fucking superstars. Now you're here with me. You like it? So I was gone out of there.
Imagine saying that. Imagine how weak you must feel after hearing that.
It's a lot still. We can't keep man like that on still. Can't keep him on still.
Oh, but wait. It's actually a good podcast. There's one more bit I want to play. It's his take on women's football. Because you know he got heat for saying that you don't want to hear from female pundits.
Yeah.
So hear what you say. I don't actually want to hear what people's thoughts
I
are about
was
this.
fucking 8-10 years ago. You lot are chatting shit. I'm going out there to collect a check. And the devil, no money.
As are flying about, and then the shit hits the fan there, and you're held to ransom. Then aren't you? Because
Do you know I moved house because of that? That Russian. Where I said I was for 15 years.
But then you have a move to Darlington then, don't you? And they put a stop to
They
it.
put a stop to that.
Sir, I'm just trying to find where it is. I've got it written in my phone, exactly where it is. But yeah, have you ever been disobedient like that? What's the worst thing you've ever said to a coach? I don't think I've ever said anything bad to a coach like that, you know.
Never, personally.
I don't think I've ever said.
Just no. Do you really need to? I
I've
don't know.
said to a coach that he's got a shit first touch.
But what, like, not like a joke?
No, it was an
Like he
argument.
come for you and you come for him?
It's slightly, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was me kind of
Oh, that's what I was saying. Okay,
taking a little bit too much flack at some point. And I said, yeah, you got a shit first touch.
You can't say that, man.
Yeah, but he reckoned he reckoned, you know when people say, oh yeah, my nan could have done that.
Mm.
I'm like, no, she couldn't have. What? What'd you say? What'd you say? You heard me. I said your nan couldn't have done it. It's a fact. Yeah, well, I could have done it then. Nah, you got a shit first touch. You're never doing it. Fuck off. All right then.
That's a massive bite, though.
Bro, he bit like,
And you know, both of you, bro.
he bit like a shot. Get in.
Both
Get
of you,
in,
both
get
of
in the
you
dressing
bite.
room. And I said, all right, fuck it. I'm going to the dressing room.
Really on the female pundit.
Okay, here it is.
Yeah.
When you
I don't even know if we can talk like this. Your show might get cut off.
Why are you? You're not in trouble,
really
are you?
I'm not really on the female pundits or female football or nothing. I say that out loud.
What you don't agree with the pundits?
Not a fan of female football, or
Some of them. I like Alex Scott.
I don't.
that's where it stemmed from.
Oh, is it? See, I don't mind her. There was
Mind
one.
her for what? Like, what has she done? Why ain't you there? You've done more than her.
Has he?
In the actual game that we're actually talking about. Forget anything that anybody's going to say now. You've done more than her. So why is she there? It's politically correct. Why is she there?
I think she makes valid, good points.
But why is she there? Because she ain't kicked football that's been there.
140 caps for England.
What is that? 140 caps for what? What England team's this?
I don't really know.
Do you not agree with anything that she comes
No,
out
I
with?
don't
Or do
agree
you
with any of
think
them, I
that
don't agree.
whatever, when she's saying it, she can't?
Winner.
Yeah, what FA Cup? What FA Cup's that? Now, come on now, like, if we're being real now, like, let's just be real about the whole thing.
Arsenal
You're
captain.
trying to tell me a women's FA Cup, I don't care what anybody said, a women's FA Cup medal holds value.
No,
In the women's game.
In the women, yeah.
So why is she on men's game talking men's football? Sorry for spitting.
So,
No, I get
like that
it
when
is
I'm a bit-
political correctness, but I do think that she speaks a lot of sense.
All right, even if she speaks sense, the people them who's listening, we don't want to listen to it.
Why
There's
not?
no. What are you speaking? Can you go out there and go and do that? No, she can't. Same thing I had with the managers. I need to see, like, come on. Even if Merson's shit and they say Merson's a shit pundit, I know Merson's tart. So therefore,
I shouldn't laugh.
He's a funny guy though.
Alright, what's everyone's views on this? Because I'm going to get a female footballer on in a couple of weeks.
I don't agree with what he's saying personally.
No, what he's saying is completely wider left.
But is there, okay, let me just put this on. Is there an element? Okay, but let me get this out before I think. I don't agree with not wanting to hear what they say or whatever. But is there an element of truth in the fact that it's politically correct to have them there? Not forget what they're saying.
No, it is, but then it's like, it's the same thing like when we like, we want to see more black managers or black presenters on TV. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's the same type of thing, because to us it's like we should be there because we know as much or we're as good as some of the. To be fair, half the women I hear women commentators. For me personally, it don't bother me. I think if like someone commentating on the game bothers you to that extent, I think you got a problem. That's just me personally. And some of the pundits I've heard, I mean, they haven't said anything that they say better things than someone like Jamie Redknapp, for example. Like, there are men pundits out there who are very, very bad. So I don't see why a female can't talk on a men's game.
I think my thing is, it's similar to what you're saying. Like, if they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're bad. I had a problem with Alex Scott in the beginning because she wasn't good in the beginning. It's got nothing to do with like her being a woman or whatnot. Because I grew up watching women on TV. Remember Helen Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up watching, do you get what I'm saying? And Kirsty Gallagher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with that. My thing is just, if you're gonna be there, come with sense in it. So if I'm watching a game, let's say I'm watching Arsenal United, and then at half time, it's time to go through the game, what's happening in the game, and you tell me that Aubameyang's got 10 goals in his last 11 appearances, and you come with all these stats, I don't care about that. Like, tell me about the game. Do you get what I'm saying?
But that's what half these people like.
Exactly. And if Merce did it, if Robbie Savage did that, I'd say the exact same thing.
Yeah, of
But
course.
then when she started, I think, looking back, I think it was more just nerves being there.
No, that's it. She's kind of like the flagship, like properly out there on Sky Sports, like the first woman. But you can see like she's growing into it because now you see like as Gary Neville did, and that's why I think Gary Neville like became so big and successful and respected, because he just relays it to the game. And when he played, this is like, they're doing this and he's doing this because of this, and that's happening because of this. But you talking about the actual game because you have played it. Like, I'm not like the women's and the men's game, it is two different games.
Yeah, you can't compare.
But she has played the top level of women's football. So she's going to have a knowledge. That's not to say she can run out there and kick against Messi and company, but she still understands the game. To understand the game doesn't mean you can't be a pundit. Gary Neville was one of the worst players. Like, if we go pound for pound, some of the right backs out there or getting ripped apart by players. But when he talks, everybody listens.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry was one of the greats.
Worst
Now, when
pundit.
he talks, I want to mute him.
He's the worst one in the world. You know what? I think Sky
he
was
tried to over-engineer it though.
I think Sky was so happy when he took that Monaco job, or whichever Belgium one, whichever one made him go, because they got rid. He's so bad. I remember they did all this big, massive promo for him and everything, and then
because it's Thierry the player.
Yeah, but he talks about. You know who says that a lot though? Mourinho.
What?
Mourinho says that a lot about. Listen, fantastic. He says a lot about Paul's goals as well.
Yeah, he comes for them, man.
Yeah.
All the especially the man that come for him, like in terms of like managing.
Yeah.
That's the one, like when he's saying about, I did it for so long here.
Yeah, you did it through for older whatever.
Yeah, and then
like,
you resigned by WhatsApp and all that.
Yeah, like a great player doesn't necessarily mean you be a great pundit.
No,
and I remember a time ago we said it.
At all, man.
I'm not saying I'm a great player or whatever, but I don't think I know what I'm good at. As much as I know on the pitch what I'm doing and whatever, I wouldn't be a good pundit.
Yeah, I think the punditry job's not easy though, man. I think it's because a lot of people like get on people like Robbie Savage, and even a lot of people still get on Carragher. I think it's weird because I think, like what you're saying, Spence, if you've got someone like Gary Neville on, do you know what my favourite pundit was?
Andy Gray.
Andy Gray. Yeah. And my favourite sort of quote unquote presenter was probably Alan Hansen, when he used to talk about. Alan Hansen used to educate you through what he was talking about. Andy Gray the same. Andy Gray used to have that famous line where everyone says, "Oh, why does he always love Shearer?" It's because he just gambled. He just gambled.
He loved the gamble.
It's mad because but he's teaching you what he's. Do you know what I'm saying? He's teaching you something. And to be fair, there's times when you just think some pundits. I think they just don't have the voice for it, man. And I think Thierry was probably one of those. And I think Thierry tried to be a bit over sophisticated. And I think sometimes with Gary Neville, you can just see he's talking from raw experience, and you can see he's talking from emotion. Do you know what I mean?
But I think that's why people don't like. Who's the two you just said? Carragher
Carragher and Savage.
Okay, Savage.
Savage's funny, yeah.
He was a terrible player.
He's funny.
What I like about Savage
he's funny,
is he's just brutally honest.
He's just honest. He's funny.
So if you're dead, like he's gonna call it out.
He's
like,
funny.
No, but do you know
He's
what it
funny.
is? Do you know what it is? My problem with Savage is that he's unrealistic at times.
Massively.
So, like, you would think the way he speaks, he was an absolute worldie.
Yeah.
You think the way he speaks, and sometimes he says such wild things that you just think but you've played the game. Do you get what I'm saying? And that doesn't relate. And it's not like, obviously he was never a Ronaldo or Xavi or whatever, but he played the game at the highest level.
He played at the top level, man.
For a very long time.
Oh, wow, still.
Do you get what I'm saying? So some of the stuff you come out with, I'm just like, you're speaking like a fan that's never
You almost
played
question
football.
his knowledge.
Yeah,
of what
like
he's
it's
saying.
just like, what? Owen, the same one. Like,
Yeah.
Owen was such a good player.
I'm not a fan of listening to him.
But listening to him,
Yeah, I'm not. a fan
you
of
wouldn't think that.
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean. But that's what I'm saying. You look at, like, obviously you go back to like the Gary Neville one. Like, you don't have to. And like Thierry Henry, I think, you see, once you got pace, especially in the modern game, like it's half the battle for you. But he had a good touch and he knew when to do certain things. And if you're coachable, you can become a very good player. But you know, like a lot of the times, like footballers, you're robots, unless you actually take the time to kind of like to think through what's actually happening. Not like, oh, when Bergkamp gets the ball there, that's where I need to run. But to understand why I need to run. And when I make that run, what happens?
Yeah.
And understanding the game like that. I think where Gary Neville wasn't a good player or as good a player, if you even read it in his book, he worked very hard. And I think when you're not that good, you take the time to kind of to understand the little intricate things.
Your attitude to
I think it has to
things
be
change.
because it's not easy.
It's not
so
easy for you.
If I'm a defender and I'm not fast, or like, so when I played fullback, I was never quick. Like, but because like I'm black, people think, Spence is fast.
Yeah.
Or I was good 1v1. Spence must be fast.
You were deceptive.
I was
though.
never.
You weren't slow though.
No, like
I think you were good at reading.
no,
that.
but that's not me being fast.
Yeah.
I knew I was slow, or not. I'm not slow, but over 3 or 4 yards,
You can get
I'm
there.
very sharp.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But a lot of the time,
But if we're opening out, I'm not going to win that race. Like if we done a 40-yard dash, but the pace that I can do the first one at, in the 90th minute, I could do it at that same pace. Like I was fit. So it might look like I'm quick. But because I knew I wasn't quick, I had to make, as a defender, I had to know this is where I need to be. If I'm here, it gives me, I'm at a distance where I can still make that if I have to get across there. And reading, as you said, so if I stand from here and he has a big push, he can't get past me because I know my distances. But you see what I'm saying? Like if I'm quick, like a Carl Walker, I don't need to think about it. I'll go and stand over
it's
there.
almost better to be
kick it.
to be how you were in the latter years, because when I first went to left back, nobody's beating me for pace. So defensively, I might not have been the greatest,
No, but that's it.
but you weren't beating me for
Because
pace.
if they knock it, all you got to do is get your body there.
Yeah, exactly. And even if I
Do you
don't
see what
get
I'm
my body there, they're not beating me for pace in the straight. Do you
But
get what I'm
then
saying?
the
But
problem is when you're matched up with pace.
but the problem is when I came back from my broken leg, and at first the speed wasn't there. Even now,
you had to read it
I had
differently.
to learn to just actually, and I struggled big time with that, with reading distances and stuff like that. But getting back to the point about Henry, for me, Henry was never the player you would put on the pitch to lead and dictate how everyone should play. Do you get? He's a leader because of who he is.
Who he was.
Yeah.
Who
Do you know what I'm saying?
he
Do you know
became.
he was like, because it was like, get me, you know, like that one, get me the ball and I can make the difference. Do you know what I mean? Whereas you got other players who will be like, you go there, don't come deep, I'll get you the ball.
Yeah.
Stand there, get the ball into me. It goes into you, play it inside, play it around the corner, and you're talking the game for players. Those are like people that understand the game. Like, I'm not saying Henry doesn't, because I think to play at the highest level, you have to have an understanding of the game. But I think you do. You have to understand the game.
Would you say
to play
Walcott has an understanding of the game? Walcott.
Theo.
He's got. It's not a good understanding, but he has to have he has to have something to get there. I can't disregard him. Like to get there, I don't know how he stayed there. That I don't get. But to get there, you have to have something.
No, I think I think in most cases that's you do, but I think there's certain cases where you don't. And Theo got there and he was hyped up next to Henry. Before you know it, he's there. Because really and truly, if we're being really honest, if Arsenal had any other manager apart from Wenger, Walcott would have been gone years ago.
Walcott wouldn't have come.
Yeah.
There was actually no reason to get him, but that's another.
Nah, I see
discussion.
why we got him.
I don't.
I see why we got him, because he was a youngster, and for Southampton in the youth team and coming up to the thing, he was doing well. For his age, what he was doing at
He was
Southampton,
playing first team at 16.
He was doing well.
Because he was fast.
Yeah, but he was impacting games as well.
No, I know. No, I get that. But
At that age, that's a good prospect. He's a good prospect.
I don't know, man.
He's playing first team at 16.
Yeah, you can't not look at that, especially when it's not like you're coming on 15, 20. He was starting games,
He was
scoring,
and scoring good goals as well.
He was making an impact at 16 in championship.
Should have gone somewhere else, man.
Because then, by that notion, there's no need to get someone like Sessegnon then. Because Sessegnon was doing the exact same thing in championship. But if someone picked up Sessegnon, you wouldn't be like, I don't know what.
To be fair, it's a while ago since remembering watching Theo as a 16-year-old, but watching Sessegnon, he had more to his game.
Yeah, he definitely got more to his game. But the point I'm making is that at 16, if you're coming on and impacting men's football at the top level, I can see why a team will buy you.
I mean, no other top team wanted him.
No, someone else wanted him.
Who?
Someone else wanted him.
Man United.
Well, yeah,
Really?
Another top
Why?
team. And we beat, and he chose Arsenal over someone because
he chose Arsenal.
Fergie's buzzing me.
Well, Fergie bought David Bellion.
What a player.
Flipping hell. Who was the other one, man?
He was
Remember Overton?
Obatan.
Is that the one he
Bellion
done
was
on?
meant to be the next Thierry.
Which one was the one? Is it
light-skinned
Overton? No, but there was one he done
Baldhead.
off of YouTube clips, basically.
Oh,
Do you know who I'm talking about?
Bebe.
Bebe, that's the one. Like he put together like his little thing. And they were like, yeah, wicked, let's sign him.
Imagine that. But you know what's mad? Even though he didn't make it at United, because he's played for United, he's got it on his CV. He's set for life.
Yeah, of course.
He's set.
Imagine getting that off YouTube. I should have took my YouTube clips more serious back in the day.
I remember there was a clip of Sam Allardyce or Harry Redknapp saying he signed someone off the word of someone else. No. People kept asking him. No, it was an agent. An agent said, "This is George Ware's cousin.
George Ware.
George Ware's cousin."
Yeah.
And blah blah blah.
The guy was terrible.
And that was terrible.
He was terrible.
He just signed it off the back of just hearing that. Oh, he's here. Let me get him. But yeah.
But where did this conversation start? This conversation started about commentary and punditry.
Yeah, female pundits.
I don't think the problem is the gender of the pundit. I think the gender is the quality of their delivery and the quality of what they're saying. I think people are talking about, it's one of them. It's a typical, no disrespect to Leon Knight, but it's a typical, I won't say ignorant view, but it's a typical kind of
I think there is an
egotistical man. What's the word? I don't know.
Yeah, no. I don't know the word, but I know what you mean.
I don't want to say chauvinist or anything like that, but it's a very
it's a man's.
It's
world.
a man.
This is
it's a very manly view to have that she.
This is our game.
Yeah, I'll be honest. There's times when I've not rated her, and there's times when I've rated her highly. Do you know what I mean?
But then same
Right
with
there,
the
bro.
other dudes.
Lamin, what's going on? Cool. Good to see you, bro.
Right,
Yeah. And then that one up there.
Are you nervous?
Yeah,
Are you nervous?
There's times when I'm like, when I do listen to her and I think to myself, you know what, you are talking a load of shit. And there's other times where I think, you know what, it's a fair point.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I get that with the men as well.
No, it happens across the board, and I think that view is a bit. I don't want to say chauvinistic, innit? 'Cause I don't think that's quite what it. Well, it might.
Yeah,
be.
that's
The listeners might tell me that I'm wrong, but it is a bit of a. This is a man's world kind of view when it's kind of a bit unnecessary.
Well,
Don't get me wrong though. When I first had the first female ref, I did think that they were incompetent. I'm not gonna lie.
What do you mean on TV or playing
pundits.
with?
I before it was on TV,
Yeah,
I actually had one.
Yeah,
in the game.
yeah.
I had one. She's
Yeah.
the
On a
best ref I've
podcast,
ever
and
had.
he was talking about.
But this is what I'm saying. But you get a.
you don't
I
watch
judged
women's
her
football.
Yeah.
You
as
don't
a
rate
youngster.
their pundits.
Yeah.
because she was a woman.
Live.
And in reality, yeah, it's just a bit of an outdated view, man.
But yeah, guys, we've got a late comer.
Apologies for my lateness.
It's a massive fine.
Well, with his wages. Yeah, you know, introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, Marc-Anthony Okoye. Well, thank you for having me.
Big up.
Yeah, man, I'm grateful to be here and sitting with some people on powers and having some real powerful conversations as well.
You've won Spence over already. Spence lacks respect.
Why?
Is it? Yeah?
Spence loves respect.
I'm sold.
I'm honourable, man. You know what I mean?
So you're Bromley at the minute.
Yeah, Bromley. at the moment.
Shout out
Was
Bromley.
you there last season as well?
Yeah, so last season, my first season down there.
Well, you were from Mersham, isn't it?
I signed there from Braintree.
Yeah. When were you at?
I was at Merstham the year before.
Oh, okay.
So for Merstham, Braintree, I had a good season down there the season before last, and then over to Bromley last year. Yeah.
And how did the season go with Bromley?
It was good. That was my first time full time. So
Okay.
training every day and all that stuff. It was an amazing experience. Everything was new to me. Going to all these different grounds, like bigger stadiums, bigger crowds, etc. For me, it was probably a slow start.
For you or for the team?
Both. But personally, I feel like I had to buy my time or like almost earn my respect down there. So it wasn't really until like January I was playing like week in, week out in my position. Not to say I wasn't playing, but I wasn't playing in my position early doors in the season.
Which is your position is?
Centre half.
Okay. So you was probably getting used at right back.
Right back.
Yeah.
left back.
The usual. Yeah.
I saw you play a couple games centre mid as well.
I did, you know. I enjoyed it, but the first one was wild. I can't remember my first game in centre mid, but all I know is it was wild. The running was different.
Was it? Different. I couldn't play centre mid.
Like my legs weren't programmed for it.
They're not,
Like,
the short, the long, the short, the long, the short, the long.
You're used to just like up
Burst.
six,
And
back
it's straight,
six,
and it's
levels.
straight, and it's straight lines as well, isn't it,
Yeah,
at the back.
it was
Whereas in
different. And
midfield,
you're
it's
getting on
like
it.
angles and
Exactly. You're getting on it and you just got to keep things ticking. It was mad. But after the first game in centre mid,
Was that for Bromley?
yeah. After the first game in centre mid, I think I had like 4 or 5 games in it. Like I was doing well. Doing well in there.
They love you
man.
down there, man.
Yeah.
I always see the tweets, bro.
Do you know what? I feel like it's a family club down there. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they respect you first as a person before a footballer. Do you know what I mean? I feel like as a person, they like me as a person before a footballer. And obviously it helps when I'm playing well. That just as a package, holistically, you know what I mean, they take to me at the moment.
You lot are doing business though.
Yeah, boy.
big plans for next year as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you seen the players that they're signing?
No.
Flipping up.
Bush,
So you
I don't know
got-
his first name. Is it Chris? Chris Bush? Ebbsfleet. You come from Ebbsfleet, I think.
Okay.
Joe Kizzy,
Got
Clifton.
Cliff,
Oh yeah.
Kizzy.
Yeah.
Both from the North team. Yeah.
Cheek as well. I think he was at Ebbsfleet as well.
Bloody hell! And they're doing
Where
it early
did
as
you,
well.
where did you guys finish in last season?
Like mid-table.
So
Like 11.
the aim is now, or have you
Playoffs, innit? Like,
is
playoffs.
that what you want personally, or has everyone kind of sat down and said this is what we're going for?
Or is that based on what you know you lot can actually do?
Based on what I know, let me get rid of this.
The bin,
bin right next.
Based on what... Listen, the signings we made, we should not be...
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we have to be achieving playoffs. You know what I mean? I think the owners and, you know, everyone upstairs at the club are making a real statement by the signings they're making. So I think it's self-explanatory what the ambition is this year for the club. You know what I mean?
When you back for pre-season?
25th of June.
25th.
No,
10th of June.
Yeah, 10th of June is like basically we do some off-season work. Me, Harold Odometti and Brendan Kiernan. We for like 4 or 5 years now we just link up.
Oh,
and
that's
graft.
what you were talking about when you said bread.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So we just link up and graft like so we always start that a couple of weeks before.
Yeah.
Harold's just got that move as well, innit?
Yeah, I was just going daggers. Happy for him, man.
Do you know who Harold is? He was on
don't
our
think
team.
so.
Centre mid.
If I see a face,
Centre mid, bald head guy. Just solid.
yeah, there was 2 bald guys, wasn't there? If I see a face,
Who? Ain't he
He's
bald?
gonna take that as a offence.
Oh, you're bald, bro.
oh, is he not bald?
Nah.
No.
All right, low skin fade. We'll give it skin fade.
But yeah, so what, where did you grow up though?
East Dulwich.
East Dulwich. What school did you go?
I went to as in secondary school.
Yeah.
I went to St. Joseph's in
Lewisham.
Crown Point, St. Joseph's College.
Oh, crap.
Crown Point. Then I left there in like year 10. I went to Charter in East Dulwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you always played in football then? Or
Yeah, man. Like I've always been playing football, unless I was injured.
yeah.
I broke my leg when I was like 15. Obviously I had a little while out due to that, but I've always been playing ball, man. Yeah.
And how old are you?
26 now.
Why didn't I grow like you, man? I'm 33. Look how short I am, bro.
Bro, there's pros and cons to everything, man.
Yeah,
You know what
I hear that.
What's the
gonna
cons of being your size? Still
I mean?
cons.
Cons, you get knee problems, man.
You know what?
And when you fall hard.
Hard.
Yeah,
it's a long way down,
You know what I'm
isn't it?
saying?
It's funny you say that because I've started trying to do running again, innit? Funny story, very quickly. So I saw some guy in Oxford Street the other day. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. And I was thinking of packing football this year, innit?
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I got too much going on. I was thinking, you know what? I just don't care anymore. No, it's not that I don't care anymore, but I was just thinking, whatever. Imagine, he comes out to me, he's just like, Daps, I remember, man, like, playing for Nigeria, you did your bits, like, but it's a shame about the leg break and that you can't do it anymore. He said to me, you can't do it anymore. I was just like, what? I said, all right, then, cool, let me get fit one more time. So when I'm telling you I'm going to get fit and everything, I owe it to myself. I think I'll give it 2 more years, man. You know,
How old are you now?
31.
Yeah, man.
I'll give it 2 more years. Centre back, left back. Yeah. But if I broke my leg, I was left mid.
Okay.
And then come back. And when I first came back, I wasn't fit enough to be doing that.
Yeah. Bobbing up and
Yeah,
down.
so I dropped back to left back and then I was good. And then, yeah. But I was talking about something before you said that. Oh yeah, my knee. So I'm trying to do a bit. Literally, I got up saying, put pressure on my knee. And I felt it. I was like, hey, what's going on there, bro? I hope I'm not trying to develop no...
Getting old, bro.
No, I'm lucky I've never had no real, like, apart from the leg break, obviously, I've never had any sort of joint, any of that.
It's the worstest.
Yeah, they'll catch you when you get old, bro. Older.
It's the worstest, bro.
I try to keep a good nick.
I was going to ask anyway, what's your personal ambitions then for like football? Obviously 26. You're not exactly elder statesman just yet, but you've obviously got, you're not oldest, but you're not the youngest now.
Do you know what? Like, with the journey I've been on, I feel like I've been playing football forever. And it's like I've stopped putting so much pressure on myself.
Yeah.
For me, I just want to play as high as my ability can take me. And like literally that's it. Like that's all. In the process, enjoy it. And wherever my ability can take me, I'm gonna work as hard as possible while I can, wherever I end up, whether it's the Prem or League 2, League 1, the National League, whatever is, wherever my ability can take me. Literally, I think I've grown up with so much pressure on myself and really densified my experience.
Is that pressure you've put on yourself?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just trying to get to where you want to go.
Of course, like you grow up and you know what I mean, you go through being a teenager and you know different life experiences and you're thinking this is my way out, this is my way out of everything. Do you know what I mean? And you miss out sometimes on actually living.
You miss out on a lot, bro.
Do you know what I mean? So now it's just like I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, graft. I don't need to graft so hard to a sense where I don't have no life. Do you know what I mean? It's like life's too short. I could break my leg tomorrow and I'm done. And I'm looking back over the past, however long I've been playing football.
All the
nothing to
sacrifice
show.
and
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly how.
Yeah,
how I felt,
it's just stay true to myself in terms of how hard I'm working and what I'm trying to achieve. And wherever I end up, I end up. You know what I mean?
What's your upbringing like? Because you sound very like you're proper like respectful.
Yeah.
Head on your shoulders.
I'm Nigerian, man. I'm Nigerian. That's
Shout out
just
Niger boys.
Yeah, man. That's just.
Nah, because it's not just. I hear what you're saying, but it's not just a gift.
It's a foundation, though.
Like, have you always been this way, or
What way?
like just calm and you just got this mellow kind of?
No.
Or is it a lot of like reading and whatever, or it's just you?
I'm a thinker, so meaning like I spend a lot of time in my head. Like I'm someone I get annoyed with. I'm uncomfortable when I'm around people for too long, kind of thing. Like, and now I only actually sussed this recently over the past like 12 months or so.
Don't start flipping tables here after half an hour. You know?
No. It's like actually thinking about it, I've always been a calm head, and I think it's my dynamic growing up. So I've had 3 sisters, no brothers, mum, dad, and I'm the third. So in my house dynamic, it's like my room is my space. Do you know what I mean? If I leave my room, small conversations, but not. I can't express and be a man. Because I've got a little sister, I've got 2 older sisters, but through African upbringing as well, I'm the man of the house.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, like, I'm very reserved and within myself. Do you know what I mean? So I think it reflects now, me being whatever 26, and like I'm very inwards. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm not very expressive unless I'm in the environment or around the right people to do so. And yeah, I just think based on that dynamic, I've always been someone I'm always thinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with that then? No. So, there's a
Am I
log-
comfortable?
There's a logic to that question because when you said it might be a hindrance, but you're not. It might be an hindrance. So that's an element. Of,
Do you know what? Are you trying to come out of that?
Yeah.
No,
Like,
man,
are you changing or are you just growing and maturing?
I'm definitely growing, definitely maturing. I am comfortable with it. I'm good.
It's a good way.
You know what I mean?
It's a good answer.
You see that?
What's that? Incense?
Oh, is there incense here, Brent?
Or sheesh?
Yeah, there is.
No, there's a
and,
poof. There's a thing that. Oh, is it?
at the top.
Yeah.
She the shisha at the top.
Man, coming in, it's on fire, bro.
But, yeah, no, I am comfortable with it, and I think that's come through my understanding as I'm growing older. That like you're here, you're having an experience. Do you know what I mean? Everybody else is playing a part in your experience, playing a part in your book or your movie or whatever. So it makes you take accountability for whatever's going on in your life. And I feel like you just move from your own, you navigate yourself, and you're able to stay true to yourself and what it is that you've been put here to do. Do you know what I mean? And I always believe that there's two paths. You got a path of free will and a path of whether it's God, the Most High, whatever religion or belief system you hold. And when you're operating out of your free will, you're not protected. Like, you can go through the woods where there's thorns and bushes and bare madness in there, and things could happen to you. It's not illuminated, it's dark, you can't see, that's your free will.
Yeah.
Or you can move in alignment with yourself, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, and your path is always lit and your path is always protected. So I feel like being I wouldn't say isolated, but alone in a sense, I feel like I have a better connection with what is true to me, and I can.
You know yourself better. You got to know yourself more than potentially just doing stuff. So you're thinking about what you're doing. I don't want to make it sound like I was just born on some different mentality, because it wasn't that at all. I feel like you grow and you experience things to show you who you are. Definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So you go through whatever friendship circles, environments, hobbies, whatever interest. Like, you go through all these things, and you have to see what you don't want to understand what you do, or see what's not for you to understand what is for you. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
How does that translate onto like the football pitch though? Like, are you still reserved? Like, you just handle your business and no one talk, or on the pitch, are you like,
no, do you know what? I diagnose myself as a leader. Like, I'm very, and I think that again comes from knowing myself. But on the pitch, I communicate, and I don't. It's hard because when you're playing football, you're in a zone, innit? Yeah. And it's like, I may give information that may be wrong. Like, it is what it is, but it's the energy where we're here to achieve something. We're here to win. So you're just doing whatever you can at the moment in time to win. If I see something that someone isn't seeing, I may pass over that information. Same way someone may do that to me. But in terms of the components to me on the pitch, I'm definitely calm. And I think I've seen it in my game more this year. Yeah. My calmness as a centre half as well, it probably stands out, like on the ball or whilst defending. And I've seen that and someone asked me the other day who's my footballing idol, and I haven't had one for ages, since Yaya. And I think recently I'm taken to Virgil.
I knew you was gonna say that,
because you see, like, there was a clip I see on Twitter when
Son.
Yeah.
You
see the calmness is like, he knows, like, bro, you can try and get.
Wait, what, the Champions League final?
Yeah, when he's trying to run him, and
do you remember that bit?
Vaguely.
Basically, Son had him. Well, Son had, and he was
running
through
him,
and he was through on goal, and then Virgil just calm and didn't dive in,
the calmness.
Oh, just ushered him out.
Yeah.
And like, not to blow my own trumpet at all, but it just reminded me of me. Like, that's when I'm defending. It's like, what's the worst that? Nah, this is how I think. No, is why fit is football's a game.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna die if someone scores a goal or if someone nutmegs you. It's like, just be calm, innit? Do you know what I mean? If he outruns you, but through that calmness, yeah, you're in control of the situation. And the way he demonstrated that at the time, I said, nah, this...
You felt...
And that's what role models are.
It
So
resonated.
if you was to write 4 role models and write down what it is about them that you like, essentially, when you're actually reading it through, you're reading things that you see in yourself.
Yeah.
That's
true.
what a role
Good
model
point.
is. Just someone who you see things in them that you have in yourself. Do you know what I mean?
I think
So-
it's a good
point.
quality to have, to be able to watch like that moment in like when Van Dijk did that, and then just look and be like, I want to learn from that. What is it about him that allows him to do that? Because most people watch that and think good defending. Do you get what I'm saying? Where
There's so much mentality. There's so much of a mental side to it, though, I think.
you think so?
Confidence, like...
I know, because he knows he can do it. But I think at the same time that can be like what holds a lot of people back.
100%.
When you know that you can do something, that it gets a bit too,
100%.
you get so confident that you come away from actually doing it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to bring, who's a player that I think is just overcome? Adel Tarab.
Oh,
Adel Tarab had all the ability in the world. Ravel Morrison, all the ability in the world. But they're so confident in it that it's almost as if like the basics of doing like the basic things, the foundations that got them to actually like get there, they just come away from it. You can't talk to them no
yeah,
more.
I get what you mean.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what
Whereas
you mean.
with Virgil, to actually, he's got this thing about him where he knows he's the thing, but he still has to do it. He still has to do
He
the job at
balances
the
it
end.
very well.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think people see that in him, and that it's no coincidence he comes and instantly he's like vice captain.
Yeah.
Apart from Milner, whatever. When he's on the pitch, if Milner or whoever ain't there, he's captain,
Yeah.
and everyone gets drawn to him. So is that what like you see yourself as, that people just get drawn to you like as a leader and that? Do you think when you're on the pitch, they look at you, they know it's like there's an element of control there, and they can trust you?
Yeah, trust. Trust, I think, is the word. And my definition of trust, holistically as well, not just in ball, is to know what someone's going to do at any moment in time. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like on a football pitch, I can be trusted to a sense. Sometimes, this is what I mean, where you're saying about like, if it's too much, it can work against you. So as a centre-half, for example, if I'm thinking, okay, like I like to play, but I'm ignorant of it, and I'm losing the ball and costing my team, then it's working against me, do you know what I mean? But I feel like in general, players may know like what you're going to get from this person each game, whether it's technically, physically, mentally. And I feel like he has that component, and it filters through the whole team. Like the respect that players have for him because he knows himself and what he's trying to do.
It's funny as well because it's interesting when you mentioned before that this is your first time in full-time football. But you don't hear people talk the way you're talking when they play part-time football. Weirdly.
Imagine that.
Weirdly.
That. And that's
What do you
one
mean?
thing that irritates me.
Yeah,
most.
but do you know, because I went back to when I started first thinking about when I started really assessing the way the game is, and like something that you said there, you know what you're going to get from someone. You know what you can do with someone, what you can trust someone with. And for me, that's a brilliant sign of somebody who's engaged and who's mentally in tune with the actual game. But also you learn that through being full time, because when you're spending so much time with people and you're training with them constantly, you know what situations potentially that person can handle and what situations they can't. And that, to be fair, is you're right. You're probably bang on. It's probably a sign of leadership, because you're actually assessing. Okay, do you know what? I know when this guy is going to do this, or I know how he's framing to do that. And once it happens, this is what then I can do. Do you know what I mean? And that's also a sign of support, because you can imagine when you know that we was talking about before. If you've got a fullback you know is not very quick, for example, and you can see a ball is going to be played over the top and he's a little bit too tight, or he's just a little bit in no man's land, you know instantly as a centre half just to be not even necessarily start covering, but to be alert to start covering. And because you're alert to start covering, all of a sudden you're mopping up his mess for him. And do you know what I mean?
No, I get you.
And that's how. And if you look at Virgil van Dijk, great example of that. Because when you look at him when he plays with Matip, when he plays with Lovren, you can almost see him watching them and watching what they're gonna do and thinking, I need to be there. I need to be there.
Yeah.
I need to be there. Do you know what I mean?
I used to support United.
Ooh, used to.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What?
I used to.
Go on.
I
Don't say Liverpool,
I supported United because family in Nigeria and everyone supported United.
Up to
whatever.
what year, roughly?
2 years ago.
Ferguson.
Like
When
when
did Ferguson leave?
Ronaldo left, it was just but I didn't. Do you know what it is now? I just don't support anyone. I'm not a fan for. I just support on the
You
day
just
I'm watching
like-
football. Whoever's playing better football,
You just want them to do well.
Yeah, like just I want to watch good football. Do you know what I mean? I don't really.
I can clap to that. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't
When
really
they clap
support
it to
anyone.
I can clap to that.
Right.
Nah.
Yeah.
Why do you clap?
No. But you're a fan of football. You're a football
Yeah,
fan.
yeah.
No, don't. Do you know what he's trying to do?
No, he is.
Do you know what he's trying to do?
He's a
I like
football
him.
fan.
I
Thank
like
you.
you, know.
Hey, big up.
No, do you know what he's trying to do? When Arsenal were flopping,
Nah, we're in tune, bro. Nah,
Arsenal
we're in
were
sync.
flopping.
We're in sync. We're in sync.
well, they're still flopping.
We're in
But
sync, bro.
he tried to do this thing of, I don't support Arsenal, I support football.
I'm a football fan.
But then when they started looking like, oh no, they're doing something, it's like I support Arsenal again.
Nah, it wasn't really like that. It wasn't
It
really like that.
definitely was
Do
like that.
you know what it was? Do you know what it was? The way that I broke down the Arsenal thing is it was like a bad investment. Yeah? If you put money in something and don't give money back, after a while you got to almost cut your losses. You got to be like, this is not returning me anything. It was emotionally damaging. It was financially damaging. Every way you could think about it, it was ruining something in my life. So I said, you know what? I didn't kick my first ball thinking I support Arsenal.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
football.
yeah.
Do you understand?
100%.
So I watch all kinds of football, Spanish football, German football, and I watch football. I don't necessarily, I'm a bit like you. When I'm not watching Arsenal, obviously, because I've got a bit of an affinity to them.
No,
when
who
they
do you
play
support?
against everyone. Hey, Daps, let's move on, man. Let's ask another question, bro.
But just on that point, though, yeah, because what you were saying in regards to going full time and learning, like, I believe that when you know football or you want to learn football for what football is, that's something where going full time and learning these extra bits are just enhancing what you already have.
It's mad, isn't it?
There's so many players
The
who are
difference.
part time who should be playing full time football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I feel is deemed like that. Like, unless it's like you're only a footballer from when you're pro
Full-time.
or when you're full time.
Yeah.
And it's
Full-time
like,
is when you're
I
footballer.
can't.
And then pro's pro.
There's so many men who should be and could be playing full-time football.
Yeah, you're right.
And whatever they have now, it will become enhanced and they'll become better players.
Yeah.
If they take that chance.
If they get the opportunity.
Give them the chance.
Yeah, opportunities.
yeah,
But equally, also, if they get the right managers, coaches.
Yeah,
and
definitely,
stuff
yeah,
like
true,
that.
true,
Because I thought, obviously, we were talking about it when we had Pricey on the other week, and we was talking about how much better the non-league game is. Do you know what I mean?
Impressed.
Nah, but we've got each other on Twitter. I like him.
Yeah, no, it's quality.
I like
We had
him.
him on last
But
week.
we was talking about how much better non-league football's become. Right, and obviously people like me, Daps and Spence, we're obviously in our like early 30s or whatever. How old are you, Spence?
33.
33.
to
He's a
think
granddad.
about that for a
He's
minute.
granddad.
Do you know what I mean?
You see, after like 25, I kind of started
Just
losing
stop
count.
counting. But it's mad because like people like yourself, you who are still playing, the standards just got a lot better because you guys are. The way that I look at you lot, you're mentally different to the way we was, and you've also got obviously you've got the added value bits. You've got better facilities. You've got probably more in tune coaches. When we was 25, 26, just trying to play non-league, a lot of the time you ain't really dealing with people who are football people, even at the non-league clubs. They're just there because they either love the game, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to convey your message. Do you know what I mean? But now the quality of the standard of the coaching's improved, which is going to allow players who, like you're saying, who should be playing, a greater berth to actually go and demonstrate what they can do because football people are looking at them.
But
Does that kind of make sense?
He's got though, like he's got that old school attitude. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Because I always complain that like the younger ones now, that actually stinks. Like they've got all the ability in the world. No, that's true. They got all the ability.
Do you think
in the
so
world.
though? Do you think, what is that like where you've been, like the younger ones' attitude things?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of them, like I've
Or
heard
it could
so
be better.
much.
Do you think it could be better or do you think it
Could be
stinks?
better. A lot of them stinks. Okay, I shouldn't say all of them.
Yeah,
But
a lot stinks.
A lot of it, no, a lot of it stinks. Like, I'm not talking. You can have all the ability in the world, but it's little things like when a coach is telling you something, even if he's wrong, and you're talking back to coaches
real.
and stuff.
There's a
like
way to do it.
that. I will never ever be able to take that.
The
innit?
talking back thing, that gets my back
Do
up.
you get what I'm saying? I've heard man say like, "Shut up."
Serious.
I've heard man arguing on the bench.
You've got no right.
You
You've
have
got
to
no
get,
right
you have
to
to
do
get
it.
released, seriously.
I think those things start at home though. Like, it's just respect, innit? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if someone older than you's talking.
Exactly.
Up to this day, if someone
to this
older than
day.
me is talking and they're talking, I might know it's nonsense, but I just you just take it
respect
because
it.
like they're older than you, innit?
See, I gave an
like-
example earlier about me telling a coach to relax, in not that way. But And I don't want to sound like a hypocrite.
There's no buts, bro.
No. There's a big but. There is a big but because it wasn't the same quote unquote situation where he was just saying one thing to me. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of a thing. Up. Yeah, it was a build, but I'm talking time, like months. And I got to the point where I'll be honest, I love football, and I got to the point where I'm looking at the team tactically, looking at the players we've got, and I'm telling you, I know the players better than he did, and I'm telling you, the way he was setting us out wasn't working. And I'm telling you that because I knew the players, and obviously you've seen it from both sides recently, side of a manager and the side of a player. When you're a player and you've got players disgruntled about the way they're being set out, you know the impact it has. And I don't necessarily think players are always right, but in this instance, the players were right. And the manager was getting at me for some weird reason, and he carried on for ages. And I was doing what you lot said. Yeah,
but do you know what?
Cool.
I think
until one day I just said, no, but
you're wrong. I think it comes to the
yeah, you got a shit touch. Do you know what I mean?
You can think the manager is wrong and all that, but just got to take on the chin.
No, 100%. I'm not even going to sit here and deny that that's the case. I think in football, it's don't forget, this is a game of opinions. You've got it's someone's view versus another view. It's different to like in like the corporate world where it's like you have a strategy for the year. Do you know what I mean? Or you have something that's laid out over a long period of time. Football, it's one person's view on one day versus another person's view on another day. Those views could be opposing. Those views could be supplementary. Those views could be complementary. They could be anything. And I think sometimes when you look at it, you've got to understand that because it's an emotional sport. Do you know what I mean? There are people reading your thing earlier. I didn't realize what Batistuta said, right? But
what did he say?
Oh, he said I don't love football. It's just my profession, right? There are people like that, but sometimes I feel like those are the better kinds of people because they're not talking for emotion. They're being very rational. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you love the game and you're in the game and you love and you're the kind of player who's in the heat of the moment all the time, and you live for that edge, because to be honest, I would say a lot of players are like that. Do you know what I mean? Where it's everything they've ever wanted to do, and they live for that one moment, that edge. And certain times you see it spill over, and certain times you see the players control it. But it's different because when you're in the heat of it, it's a different thing.
But I tell you what, it's like it can spill over, but that thing in you to still have that respect for others, that shouldn't leave you. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you might have isolated incidents through your career or whatever, but there's no reason why, even in training, you should be telling the coach to shut up.
No, that's disrespectful though. That's a respect thing. That's disrespectful.
Does anything happen to the players? Do they get pulled up, fines or?
I think in this day and age, it's so hard for players to just, because players are almost bigger than the club.
Even at that level though? Even at non-league?
You see all the time.
Do you know what though? I feel like, and this is the thing, because again, I tie things in. I think football is the biggest analogy you can use in regards to life, right? So with this concept, then this is like saying, the current generation are just wow. They're so engaged in social media and this and that, and like, isn't that an ignorant thought process? And it's almost like, as for older generations, and no disrespect to anybody at all, but like for older generations, there's certain things that you lot couldn't do because of whether it's society, whether it's your family have just come over to the country, and do you know what I mean? You just have to. There's different freedoms. There's certain things you can't do. So sometimes when you see someone demonstrating in behaviors or acts or whatever that are foreign to you, there's almost an instant rebellion against it, because it's like, well, who do you think you are?
Yeah, agreed.
But times are changing though. We can learn from that. If we've seen that kids, so many people are making money off the generation now. Do you know what I mean? And instead of us to be like, okay, what are they doing and how can we mold and adapt to that? Sometimes the older generation are very
quick to judge.
Yeah. So it's like, now I'm not like, if you're not in a football environment, and someone's just telling you madness or just screaming in your face, or are you gonna have it?
Yeah, you react.
Like,
definitely.
you wouldn't. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't teach that to my kids. Do you know what I mean? Outside of football. So why is it now that it's in football that?
Why is it acceptable?
If he tells you shut up and like,
but this is
it's the balance.
But this is what I'm saying again about being in like the heat of it, because I completely agree with you, because it goes both ways. I think I'm a big person, and you give respect. you get respect. And if everyone's respectful, everyone progresses. That's always my thing. And there are times when you're right, where it is from the sort of the staffing side, where you feel like, hold on, he's kind of taking the piss here. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit too much. And there's also times like what Daps is saying, from the player side, you think, you know what? The gaffer don't really deserve that. Like that's a bit uncalled for. Do you understand? And I think that for me, it's about the balance, but it depends on the personality. Because if you're a manager, I don't know, let's look at a Warnock type manager, yeah, who is very much old school, very much in the thick of it. He kicks every ball with the players, even though he can't play football no more. He gets in your face, swears at this, that, and the other. And then you look at probably the opposite of that, probably someone like the Klopps, who's a bit more. He's on the edge, but he keeps the lid on it right. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it's just the nuances. Like I think I'm a big believer that when it's right, when it's wrong, it's wrong, and there is no in the middle. If something, you know, if the gaffer goes up and squares up to a player, to be fair, the gaffer's out of line. If the player goes up and squares up the player's out of line. Simple as that.
I think in the middle is perspective, though.
It is.
Do you know what I mean?
It is.
Yeah, there's always a middle. Like it's mad. Like there's always a middle ground. Like no player could square up to me.
Because I don't think that's not what you give off.
No. Do
you know what I mean?
It's not. But I'm very much like my thing is like I want to know my players like individually. So I want to know you. Not that you're centre back. Like, I want to know Mark.
Yeah.
What are you like? So like for example, when we go like I'm Waltham Abbey manager.
Okay.
So like when we go back pre-season, there's like, so I need a list of things from the boys. So I want to know like your date of birth. So I know like how old you are. And then that kind of gives me an idea of what you're like. If you're an older guy, you might be more like me. And I'm a bit more old school. If you're younger, then you might be more like a millennial and you're in your phone more time. But then I have an understanding of you and how to deal with you as well. Do you know what I mean? And then I want to know like, have you got a missus? How long you been with her? Have you got kids? Because then I know if you've got a partner and you've been with her a long time, Friday nights, chances are I don't have to kind of keep tabs on you. You ain't going to be out. Or if you're going to be out, you're going to be out with her. And you're going to be sensible rather than if like you two come and you two are tight boys and like you got no misses. Friday nights, that's goal time for you, innit? Do you know what I mean? Like, so you got to take the time to invest in the people. And I feel like if you do that, then they wouldn't disrespect you back. Like your guy probably, you didn't really know him. He was just the gaffer. I'm just guessing.
I'd like to agree. But
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
But I'd like to agree.
What was I going to say?
Though, that's the one time in my entire career, by the way, my entire time playing.
You wouldn't come.
To be fair,
I've
never had one situation like that.
Yeah, one.
And that's where it's like you can't. It's almost what comes like now you're trying to just disrespect me as a person.
Yeah.
And it's
Taking the piss.
I wouldn't take disrespect
too
the
far.
ball.
Just going too far.
I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I remember one time I was blamed for a goal, which was not me. To
Clearly
the point where
wasn't.
I'm like, look on the video. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
And I'm respectable. I'm like, look on the video. It's not me. It's not my man. Like, to the point where I'm not even trying to stitch up who it was.
Yeah.
But like
Just
the
have a
gaffer's
look.
going on about it. I'm like, it's not me. Are you not listening to me? It wasn't me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
there's
then
evidence.
it got into a little situation, but it's like, it goes past the point of ball now. And this is where it's like, and I said, I've been saying this a lot recently, like football's something that a lot of people do. It's not who they are. So don't think that in this world of football that you can do what you want and there's no rules that apply, because outside of football, people are still human beings. There's certain things that they're not going to tolerate. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, that's big.
I feel that's a great
So obviously, it's off season. Like, what's it like? I don't know. Is there interest in you this summer? Oh, you don't actually know?
I don't know.
So you ain't received no calls or no nothing? I swear.
Are you on contracts?
Yeah.
Who's your agent?
Okay.
Bobby Barry.
Why you
Oh,
actually-
Bobby, yeah?
Yeah.
Fam,
yeah.
shout out to Bobby. Wanna know his agent.
No, I was wondering it because his agent
I think
was
he's testing my loyalties or something.
Nah.
Yeah, Bobby Barry.
Don't Lamin, he'll try to tap you.
So how long
Bobby's
have
good
you
guy.
got left on your contract?
At Bromley. I just signed another year, so until next.
Oh, so you
I
just done
signed-
1 year?
Yeah,
1
1
year.
year. Yeah.
Was there at any point, like when the season finished, was there any point where you thought, okay, what am I doing? Or did you know I want to stay at Bromley?
Alright.
Be careful.
Yeah, trust. Alright, so they offered me a contract probably, I think it was like January or Feb.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
That's
and like-
early.
At the time, I'm doing my thing, I'm playing well, just kind of cemented down my position. So just respect for them. It's like, look, I just want to just concentrate on what we're doing right now. And obviously the way I was playing, I'm saying if I keep playing like this, like
the deal might be better.
I'm trying to progress. Do you know what I mean?
Cool,
Like,
yeah.
Someone come in.
that's the aim. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And like I got a dumb knock, and it's like I was in and out because of my injury. So I wasn't as hot as I was at the time. And I think personally that maybe had an effect. If I'd been able to see out the season on the form I was on, maybe I may have had interest from leagues above. Maybe I do. I don't know. But so I just had to analyse where I was at that moment in time. I didn't finish the season as strong as I wanted to. And it's not just based on that, but I feel like for what the club are trying to do, they will be within the top teams of that league.
They will be.
So my original plan, I was going to stay at Braintree. I wasn't even going to go to Bromley. I was going to stay and just say, I'm going to do my thing. Someone will take me from the league after I have a successful season. So I've gone brain dead.
End of the season, guys coming in for you.
Yeah, so approaching the end of the season now, and Bromley offered the deal.
Was it the same deal from Jan?
I didn't know what the deal was in Jan.
You just knew that they were interested in.
Okay, I can't say they offer me a new deal, but they've said we want you to sign.
We want you to stay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's only later on in the season when they put the deal on the table, etc. So yeah, I've signed it, and it's really just like being honest. I didn't. If I had finished the season strong, as I said, maybe I would have delayed it and waited for the summer and trusted that someone is going to come in. They have to, because I've been doing what I need to. But I wasn't sure of it. There was a bit of uncertainty. And I think the delay was also and I was very transparent with them. I said, look, I've been transparent with you guys from the get-go. Like, I do want to try and progress. Like, I don't want to tie myself into another contract just
too
yet.
early. Yeah.
I just want to see if anything comes up. But at the same time, I didn't want to wait too long and shoot myself in the foot. So it was a tricky one. But like through speaking with my agent was saying that there isn't much concrete interest. I wasn't trying to go places on trial and anything like that. So
you don't want to do that.
Yeah, like it made sense to. I said to Bromley as well, I would never leave to go to another club in the league. In that same league.
That's
you know what I mean? So the fact that I'm delaying is only to move forward, not to
do you
pick
out
up an extra
sideways.
£100 or something. Do you know what I'm saying? And like they were quite respectful with it. Do you know what I mean? They understood it, especially the gaffer. The gaffer's played himself as well.
Who's the gaffer again?
Neil Smith.
Smudger.
Yeah, good guy, man.
Good guy.
So yeah, he understood and he was patient with me. So I'm actually grateful for him for that. And yeah, so when my agent was saying there's not really anything concrete, we got the Bromley deal done.
Do you keep an eye out for who they sign? Like that defender.
I don't care.
Or you
just get in and
I don't care.
As long as you're
I
doing your
said
thing.
it to, I think it was my agent last year. It's like, I don't care everyone name drops and all of that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Bare,
I don't
innit?
care.
You still
like,
got to get on the pitch and play. You still got to train
I
against
don't
them, whatever.
care. Like, it doesn't mean nothing. For where I've come from, that holds no weight for me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like saying, oh, I know so-and-so. Like, okay, cool. What's your point? Like, what's your point? Do you know what I mean? So with the football industry, and it's like, I've had to develop this mentality. For where I've come from, I've always been around people who are, whether it's a league above, a better team, you're pro. So there's no, I don't base myself on a name kind of thing, innit? I just back my ability. So whoever they're signing, it's not a competition. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a competition.
Do you so the league you're in now, I always said that it's so difficult to get out of that league.
Yeah.
Because there's so many good players, but the style of play doesn't suit a lot of those players. Do you notice that when you're playing in that, it's so hard to shine? Like you can see a good player, but will he shine? It's so hard to shine in those leagues. Or is it just a thing of just doing a thing?
It's hard, you know. But see, I don't know. I think it comes down to so many different things, like your gaffer, the strictness of your gaffer. You may have a way of playing and you don't necessarily stick to it, but you're not doing anything that's costing the team. So there may be a pattern of play where when it comes here, you're meant to spin it channel, but you don't. You take out your feet and switch the ball and it goes to your feet. Who's going to really pull you out? Do you know what I mean? But the style of play of the league is very
It's combative,
direct.
innit?
Like, do you know what I mean? It's direct, but at the same time, like, that's what I mean. If you got the balls, if you know who, like, if you got the balls to do your thing and just do what you got to do, you will stand out.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of worked in my favour this season. Like, I'm a centre back who you'll think should like go long. And I'm just like, that's not who I am.
What foot did you kick with left?
Both footed.
Do you know what the interesting thing about the
Is
league?
it, yeah?
The interesting thing about that league.
This guy's so modest, bro. He's so modest.
No, that's good. That's a good trait, though, man.
He's left foot. I mean, he's both
That's
footed.
it. There was one.
Made me blush.
I've only known one person like who's proper both foot, taking corners left and right foot. Like,
What, known or you've seen?
no,
Oh, okay.
young though, young. Banny Dundovan. You don't play football no more, I don't think. But
Yeah, no, Spence
I forgot I was going to
can go both ways.
Something
Because
else.
you know,
No
normally,
homo.
you know, when someone's dribbling with the ball, you can normally tell what foot they kick with. Even if they can like strike and pass with both, you can normally see.
yeah.
Does it
Can't tell.
both.
What position? Centre mid.
I've kind of finished centre mid. When I first started, I was a left back.
Okay.
And then because I got forward, left mid, then we had like a little period where centre mid wasn't there and I had energy, and then I ended up going in there a little bit. But even all that is seriously like, do you know why I don't take it for like that? Because it was to get to that level, like as in like using both, I had to work so hard, man. Like you just, like, you know, you turn up on a Tuesday, Thursday or the games and you say, fucking hell, like Mike's wicked using both feet, but stupid hours, man. Stupid.
Yeah, 10,000 hours, bro.
Like probably maybe even cleared it. Dumb. If I tell you some of the stories, but what we do for the game, innit?
Them things go unnoticed as well, man. There's a lot of non-league players who just graft. Like,
Yeah, no, so like I know so, even especially now, or now definitely when I'm manager, but when I was an older player, I always used to like take the young boys and say, look, listen, like I'm not saying you have to do what I did, because I did things that were a bit too crazy. Like looking back, like, you know, when you talk about like shutting, like, I was so like tunnel vision, so many things I look back on now and I think, you know what, that was a good experience. But in the time, I was so like this, I didn't care. Like I had a scholarship in America, but it was so like, I just want to do football. I didn't take in anything. Do you know what I mean? It was just football, watch football, train.
Do you think
go
you
bed.
missed out on anything?
I wouldn't know. Like you don't. Do you know what I mean? You don't
notice
I
it
would
at all.
have. I probably would have, because I would have just opened my,
It's a mature
broadened
answer.
my horizons a
Wouldn't
bit
know.
more. But like I always say, like going the route that I did, like so like this. In the end, like I met my wife through it. We got 3 kids. Like my best friends, everyone, like everything that I value most in life come through that. So I wouldn't change it. Do you know what I mean? But I definitely would have missed something. But again, if I'm looking at it like that, I might go down there and then I don't go this way and that don't happen. So I got kids now, so I can't change anything. Would never. So, but yeah.
That's
Just trying to-
maturity, yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't know.
Spence.
What an answer.
Well, you don't know, do you?
You don't, yeah, I suppose you don't do.
You know, have you seen Butterfly Effect? When you do one thing and it changes everything.
No. What movie was that?
That's the Aston Kutcher film, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like kind of like
It's a
Back to the
saying as
Future
well.
thing, innit? You know, like if you go back and you change something,
It has
but
a ripple
something
effect.
else, like
something else in
yeah,
our lines change.
because if you know what I mean, if I went back and me and you become boys back in the day, then you might not go this place that you went on that day and met that person to then do this to do. So you know what I mean?
No, that's big, man. I wish that's one of my biggest regrets. But I didn't use my right foot like when I was younger. Like,
Yeah.
I can do a bit of it now, but it's
There's not many left-footers though who are both.
They don't think like that.
No, you know, if you're left-footed, you're allowed to
Because
own
it's
it.
special.
You're so cultured.
You're
Because
allowed,
it's special.
it's cool.
Because everyone, there's only normally 1 or 2 in the whole team.
Yeah.
So
Like
you're
right footers want to use their left, but if
Yeah.
you're left-footed, like you just do
Yeah,
it.
it's true.
and it's so funny because growing up, especially as a left midfielder, like you get so used to, like right footers don't realise that the way you move naturally, like it's done in a certain way. Do you get what I'm saying? So like me as a lefty, when you're approaching me, you're so used to dealing with right-footed players. Do you get what I'm saying? You're so used to dealing with right-footed players, like all their mannerisms, like the way their body shifts,
body shape,
body that.
yeah.
You're so used to
the little feints.
like most people do the same things.
Yeah.
But then you come up against a And
It throws you off.
yeah, but then the flip side to that is that I'm used to dealing with so many
Right footed.
right foot. That's why that transition to left back, it didn't really bother me as such.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? I had the speed. I could read, I can read the game like all right. But growing up, lefties were just, I just got away with murder. Some of the stuff I got away with just because they weren't no other left-footed players.
Guaranteed a game more time, innit?
Yeah, like
He's left sided. Go
number
on,
11,
pick a
go,
play.
go. But the older I got, the more I didn't realise. I mean, the more I realised I didn't really want to. Because I always thought I'm left midfield, but then the older I get, I'm going to come in and whatever. But I came in for a couple of games because I had size in there and I'm not on it. I'm not
Inside
on it.
what, as in centre mid?
Yeah, centre mid. I'm not on it.
Yeah, it's a difficult position.
Like, if you're in a team that play centre mid, I think
Yeah, it's joy.
It's
the
But
best thing in the
when
world.
you're in that one, when you're in the battle in the trenches, fucking hell, it's ag, man.
I was at Error for a bit, yeah, and it was like that. I went there as a centre mid,
Yeah.
but, so before Error, I was at Greenwich, and we used to ball. Do you know what I mean?
Borough.
Yeah, just ball, man. It's just, you know, and gone to Error anyways. And it's like they've come in for me and said, "Oh, we want you 7th there at the time." Thinking it's decent, they're top of the league. They ended up getting promoted that season, but it's like I wasn't a centre mid. It's just like I was going at that whole game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I hated it. Like it wasn't football to me. You know?
I look so lost. Like I get so lost in centre mid because when you're at the back, you see everything in front of you.
Yeah.
But then when you're in centre mid, you gotta look that way, look behind you.
360, man.
Bruh, it's so much, and the cardio you need for there, it's different.
Do you know it's at them levels as well? It's just if you just know where that second ball's gonna drop, you make a career.
No, it's true.
No, that's it.
No, it's true.
You win the
It's
whole
true.
thing.
Control the. I say even to like my boy, we try and play, but I say to them all the time, like if we control the second ball, we will win the game. That's it. You just have to get the second, not even so much the first, but it's just when it goes. Can I anticipate where's it gonna be and be in and around that area? Just watch it. Majority of games, but especially if you go and watch a non-league game, whoever gets more second ball will win the game most of the time.
That's
Possession based.
decent. So before we wrap this one up, because they asked me to talk about it, Champions League final. You don't watch it,
Yes.
I was in traffic for time. I can't lie.
bruh. I wish I didn't watch that game. Bro.
It's a shit game.
I watched it, but I was like mad drunk as well watching it. So I was watching it, but I weren't watching it. Do you know what I mean?
It don't even feel like Liverpool even won it, man. It just
It was such
the
a
euphoria is
did
over.
see
It's
that
just,
it
it's
was-
just
yeah,
rubbish.
Do you know what?
I think that penalty killed the game.
I think it did, but do you know what? It always looked. I know the penalty went in early, but it was like I don't think either team played well. I think,
didn't.
but apparently, like someone, like I know a few people that were out there, and like they say, like the heat was a madness.
Yeah.
And I think taking into account how hot it was, obviously the occasion, and because the Prem's been, was it like 2.5, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
So even though they've been ticking over, it's not the same.
same.
No,
I
because
think
they looked like
yeah,
it's been 3
I
weeks.
think that's played
But don't
into
you think
it.
that Thingy played better? Tottenham.
So I thought Tottenham played better.
I
I,
think
didn't think
second
they
half.
played good.
I think second half.
only?
No, I think they played better, but I don't think it was like
They were the better team.
you've done
But
enough.
did
I
you
think they were the
ever?
better
But
side.
I always felt like Liverpool were always going to win.
They was in
Yeah.
control.
I didn't
Yeah.
feel like Spurs would ever score.
So apart from that one with Son,
Yeah,
I didn't
They
really.
didn't really have another chance.
But listen, this is what I want to say.
Harry,
How must Moira be feeling?
I see a video of him just bawling his eyes out.
his head.
Bro,
looked-
how
serious.
much?
Proper, yeah.
Do you know how harsh
What,
that is?
after the
tears
game?
after the game.
Just dropping.
Tears.
Do you know how harsh that is though? Like, you've been on form.
If you're Poch, yeah, yes or no, you start him. 3.
It's a
2,
lose-lose. You
1.
got to start him. You got to start him.
You,
But shall I tell you why?
If you start him,
I'll tell you why.
If you lose
No.
the game.
But this is the thing.
I think he has to start. But
how long
go on.
did the Kane not
Who
play
you
for?
think who has to
before that?
start?
How long had he not?
Yeah.
played?
Like
2 months.
52 days.
Come on, man.
Bro,
2 months.
what you think? Who has to start?
Mora has to start.
Oh, okay, cool. Because number one, Kane's come back from injury, so he ain't played for 52 days. Like, and he's notorious for starting slow when he comes back. Plus, he's been rushed back for this. 2, Moira is on fire, and he's the reason why you're there.
Why you're there.
And he
Yeah,
stepped
it's a good
up
point.
whilst your main guy wasn't.
Without
there.
him, they're not in the final. Do
bro. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
you know what I mean?
And the way they played to get them there, they've done it in a way where Kane wasn't needed. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, without Kane, they're way more dynamic, and they pose a bigger
More of
threat
a
as
threat.
a team. But Pricey said last week, you can't take 60 goals out.
No, this is it.
Like you can't just disregard.
You can't disregard it.
You can't just disregard the
but
goals.
Just the fact, that he's not played for like that's a lot of days, 52 days.
And he looked it.
Like it's not like he had a few reserve games and everything's done. So he hasn't played and then he's gone back in. And you know when Tottenham play, they can play, but when Kane plays, it always looks to go through Kane. But he's not fit. And you're up against pound for pound the best back four in the league. Probably even Europe at this current time. Like, I think they needed to be more dynamic where they can try and move Liverpool about. And on top of that, I just think like the bigger picture as well, it's like what message does that send to Moura, to Kane himself, to all the players? Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, you know Kane's the top boy, but he's not played that much. If he starts on the bench, it's understandable. People will say, yeah, I get it. You know he's going to play at some point. But to start him and he looks that bad, I just think it just sends the wrong message out. Like, you're bigger than the club. Like, maybe he's not meant
Bigger
that.
than the
He might
success of the team,
he might be looking at it thinking, you know what, if Kane gets a chance, he's going to score. And obviously that's the gamble you take as the manager. But for me personally, I think like that whole culture of like it's the team before anyone, like myself, players included. I think you got to go with Moura, man.
But I think you've got to have that culture embedded to be able to do it. And I think Tottenham are so far away from that. Most other clubs probably would have had him come off the bench potentially. I think, or most other managers today,
most people would
have had him coming off the bench.
I
and said,
really
you know
thought,
what? He's our
Poch,
secret weapon.
Like I really thought
not
he
even
was
secret.
like he would have done that.
I knew he would bottle it though.
But no, I knew he was going to start.
And the thing is,
He's gonna start.
he continued to, and I'm not one to talk bad about Poch because he's a really, really good manager. But even throughout the match, some of the decisions he made, he was bottling it. Like, I get you need a goal and you're thinking, but Kane is not fit, number one. He's offering nothing.
Zero.
He played 90.
He played 90 minutes.
I think he would have probably been better, and you bring him on 20 and just say, run. Just do what
burn
you can.
yourself out for 20.
Yeah, just do what you can.
But then he brings off Winks, who was their best player.
Unusually.
Winks was their best player.
Yeah.
And he was the one getting in like midfield, trying to make things happen. Brings him off from Moura because he can't take, you know, he didn't want to take Ali off. Who did?
Ali did nothing, man.
Nothing.
Yeah, I hate, do you know what? Especially now, I hate like going at managers because obviously in his head he's seen something in it. Like as to why he makes
political though, man.
But
Like,
it's
you reckon that was?
It is political, but I'm trying to think like in his head. Like the Kane one, I don't understand. I can't agree with that one.
That's what I thought you was
But
afraid.
no. Like that's like no. Like if that's my team, I can't start you because as I said, it's just that message, man. Like you can, like you've come in and you don't play all the time, but someone's come out and you know it's the old thing, and I say it all the time as well. Like if the chance comes for you to take the shirt and you earn it, it's now yours to keep. And if you keep it, like it's yours. Like Moura's done nothing to lose that shirt. Like so he has to start. But I think maybe with the Dele Alli, and you know I'm not a Dele fan, but Poch might be thinking, you know what, the ball might just drop. And you know Dele out of nowhere will just score a goal. And then people will be like, oh, he's done well. He might be looking at it like that. He might have looked and thought, you know what, between Winks and Ali, who's more likely to get a goal? If the ball drops to, who would I rather it fall to?
I hear that.
But that's guesswork.
For me, it's more like, look at the team you're having, how many players are having stinkers. Because I get you could do that, but the game's going on and you're not playing well at all. Yeah. And the one guy that is actually on the pitch doing stuff, and it's not even like opinion, like it's clear to see he's doing stuff, you take him off. Because it's an easy decision to make.
Yeah, it's the
easy Winks.
It's a safe one.
It's the thing for me is that it's one game. It's a final. And regardless of politics, you should be doing what you can to win the game. And I was disappointed when I knew that Kane would start because I thought to myself, not necessarily what would Moura think, but I just didn't think we'd see a good football match. I didn't think Tottenham was ever going to beat Liverpool, but I wanted him to start. I wanted Tottenham to kind of do themselves credit and just go at Liverpool, just go at them, because I'm a big believer. If you look at City, if you look at Liverpool, when people do certain times go at them, they can be got. This is a football match. Do you know what I mean? But to have Kane start immobile.
This is it. It made it comfortable for the Liverpool centre halves. Do you know what I mean? They didn't have to get out of first gear because of the way that Kane's only I'm gonna play here back to goal, and I might drop in 5-10 yards.
5 yards, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas when you got Mora, it's like I
And
might
Son.
drop right in like false nine, and
Or
when
might
I drop
stretch
in, Son might come from out to in,
Yeah.
and all of it. It's like you're just getting dragged everywhere. And I think if they just put Liverpool's back foot under pressure, and then you say, Kane, go and last 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And
Let's
even
see
if
what
you
you got.
flip it and say, you know what, we're going to be a bit more direct, or even go 2 up top, we're going to bang it up to Llorente,
Yeah,
who's
just
decent
get,
at hold
just
up,
get him and Kane.
and just
Bang.
lend it back. And
Let's see
Kane,
what happens.
If you get half a yard, just let it go.
It's okay to just say Poch got it wrong. It doesn't make him a
Oh
bad
no,
manager.
it is. No, what I'm saying is that's what I would have looked to if I wouldn't have started Kane. Do you get me? I think just from doing that, he got it wrong.
Yeah.
100%. But I think he knows that as well now.
It's always next year.
Hopefully not.
What do you not think of Sterling, captain in England?
Yeah, man, I'm happy about that.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying?
Why not?
That's what they
I don't know.
said. Who is it they got? Who's there next week?
Netherlands, isn't it?
Netherlands. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Sterling's captain.
Yeah.
He's vexed, though.
Shout out, right?
When's that? Is that tomorrow?
You said
Sterling's vexed.
What,
No,
that
no,
he's
no,
been-
no, he's not vexed that he's captain. He's vexed that his management company leaked it. Because
Okay.
no one was meant to know, but his management company just put out a statement.
who's that? Colossal.
Yeah. Just put out a thing just saying, yeah, that's gonna happen.
No, that's good.
But where do you think that's come from though?
What, him being
Yeah.
captain?
Oh man,
I think it's on
I
merit.
wish I could have this debate.
I don't like. At first, I look because I'm one of those that's like, you know, all this black talk that's happening. Like, they just
Yeah.
I naturally go to that straight away. But then I try to give Southgate the benefit of the doubt, and when I look at it and what he's trying to do, he's actually giving black players a chance and whatever. And then the bottom line is Sterling deserves it, and he probably is being given it on merit, as opposed
See,
to
I don't get that aspect of things in the sense where like people like Harry Kane, skipper. It's like, okay, what's the components to a lead? To,
Yeah,
to a captain?
what's led you to? Yeah,
Are you gonna dig a man out or
Yeah.
get a man going?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I
I
don't
get
think
that.
it should be. Yeah, your top goal scorer.
it shouldn't be on.
Captain,
It shouldn't be on performance.
Sterling,
It should
it's
be on
like-
qualities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
agree with
are, you're an extension of the manager on the football pitch.
Yeah.
I agree with
The
that.
manager
I
don't
agree
care
with
how many goals you score.
that. Nah, don't matter.
That he's not scoring goals. You're an extension of him. What's the components of that gaffer?
Fully agree.
Do you understand? Like for me personally, you
I'm-
can't.
I'm with
you've got
that view.
company as a captain.
Proper.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
To the point where I could sit on the side and I might not have to say nothing. Because I know my captain,
exactly.
he embodies everything I'm about. And when he sees something, he knows that's not
Exactly.
right.
So
He'll
then,
definitely pull him up.
who do you give it to? What, like a Henderson then?
Hey, listen, don't even say
I'll rather give it to Henderson than
Would you?
Sterling. Not, and
I
obviously
suppose it depends.
people will look down at it because the ability,
'Cause of
and
who
what
he
people
is,
Say,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's like
No,
components.
Henderson is vice captain, but because he played in Champions League final.
I think Henderson's more of a leader than Sterling on the football.
Yeah, he would
pitch.
be.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, he would
like
be.
he's obviously like he's not a good player or not as good a player technically and all the rest of it. But even when you see Jordan talking, I say like I know him, but you can see like,
There's that bite.
get here, yeah, no, get here, do that, do. And I think you need that. For me, I think keeper, centre back. I'm old school like that as well. Keeper, centre back, or centre mid have to be your captains. That's just me personally. I just feel that the people who can see the game
And communicate with everyone.
I
Spine,
feel
innit?
I feel you should be the captain. It's like when Arsenal done Henri, it was like
It was a bit
I just
token,
don't
innit?
get it, man. Like that's just me, innit? But
It was a
maybe
little-
I'm
It
old
was a
school.
little bit of a token.
But do you know what it is? With the Henri one, they had to give it to him. You have to.
There was no one else there.
Yeah, and he's been like the main guy to like get us through.
Yeah, I
Henri,
hear that.
to
I
be
just
fair,
I just
Henri's
don't
not-
like
It was
it.
always going to
But
be him.
Thierry's not a leader.
Yeah, he's not 100%. He's not a leader.
Not a leader.
We were talking. Was it today we were talking about that?
Yeah.
I feel like we were talking about that
No,
today.
not a leader.
Earlier, I was talking.
Great player. Not a leader.
What are you saying? Future Bromley captain.
If I get given it, I get given it. But I'm like,
Have you
Jack,
been
you-
captain
don't
anywhere
need the
you've been?
armband.
yeah,
to
brain
be-
shit, yeah. So
Oh,
year
okay.
before we got promoted last season into the national.
Mm.
That was the first time.
Did you became captain that year you went up?
Yeah, so that was my first year. So that year we went up.
Yeah.
It was a brand new squad.
And you
Braintree
got
got
instilled
relegated.
as
Everyone left, and the manager that come in, Bradley Quinton, was from Enfield.
yeah.
He was an Enfield gaffer, and he just brought basically he handpicked who he wanted from the Ram and Prem.
Oh, okay.
So we're all now playing in the Conference South, like
yeah.
just brand new squad.
And then he just said, "You're my captain."
Yeah, like obviously after a while, I think he's just seen certain qualities that he might have liked, and he's like, yeah, like, do you know what I mean? I want you to be captain this season.
What's your best attribute, you reckon? Would you say you're quick?
I'm mobile. I'm mobile. I'm not slow, but I'm gonna say I'm quick. But
You read the game good.
yes, I think that's it for me. Like, I'm just a step ahead sometimes. I think in my thinking, which it's like you slow down time. You don't need to be quick.
Yeah, it makes you look quick because
Exactly.
it's like, wow, how did he get there?
Yeah,
But you're halfway there because you know what's gonna happen.
that's probably. I think that's it. Like, I read the game very well,
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
but I'm still learning. You know what I mean,
Oh, of course. And as a defender as well, like you don't reach your peak till what another? You got another
3 years.
3 years before you like start peaking.
Bro, I'll be 29 in 3 years. You know,
As a defender, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Centre backs is a late
Yeah.
thing.
You need it's
I always
always
had like 27.
27.
I think 27 is-
to 29.
But I think
Is it?
even in general,
That's when
that's got later now because people are taking care of themselves more. People are doing more outside
Lasting
to look
longer.
after themselves and whatever. Like a lot of players, think about it. Like look at David Silva. How old David Silva?
33.
30, must be 34.
He probably didn't start playing his best football till like what 31, 32.
His brain though, just is like that experience. I think that's what experience is as well.
There's
Being
no,
able to think under pressure.
Bruv,
and
this
then-
is
no
kind of what I was
substitute
saying
for-
as well about
for
like
experience.
when you're in the heat of the moment earlier. Because if you look at the thinkers of the game, are always the better players. Always the better players.
Fabregas ain't quick.
They're always the better players. Scholes, Xavi, they're always the better players because they're seeing it different. The seconds aren't going as quickly to them. Do you know what I mean? So they're seeing things for the moments, not just seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
And that's kind of where it's a beautiful thing to watch. It's a beautiful thing to watch. Like even when you're in the heat of the battle, but you can just see these people they play a full. I always say that some people play a full 90 minutes. Others play about half an hour in the whole match because they're reactive and they're going off what's happening, off
As
impulse,
opposed to being
off
proactive,
control,
Yeah.
off brains, off seeing pictures and being able to do this and do that. And trust me, when you're on the latter side, like the 90 minutes, you know pretty much everything that happened from the first minute to the last. Whereas other players only remember the moments. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, experience is definitely
It's only the moments.
It's definitely a big thing. I know. Like I used to think when I was younger, people say experience. I just think, you've got ability. Your ability trumps experience.
It does get thrown about though. His
What?
experience, like regardless of experience.
No, I think some people's like version of experience is
Oh, go.
very
This is
very
poor.
different. 2 minutes, bro.
I had you got a cut.
Yeah, I think people's version of experience is very different because some people think just because you've been around for years, you're just naturally experienced. But even if you've not taken anything in or you've not played that many games or whatever, you just experienced. But I honestly believe experience at times can trump ability.
you need like it's like making a cake, innit? Like you need a bit of, you know what I mean? You need a bit of flour and you need this and that.
Bit of water.
It's all the components you need. You know what I mean? Like you need young players that are hungry are the best because they want to win. And if I say run through that door, you're gonna run through the door because it's like all you want to do is win. You want to be the best. You want to play the highest. But then you need the blend of to rein in the young boys sometimes and say, listen, don't go run over there. Just sit in a bit now. Because every time he drops in and you run and you think you're getting tight to him, you've now left the space for someone to come in. Do you know what I mean? So you just need. There is good and bad experience, but you need the balance, man.
Right, cool.
Your fine line.
But yeah, Lamin's got a cut. Spence got a cut.
Same. Get on to the kids.
I enjoyed it, though, man.
No, thank
Nah,
you.
Yeah.
man, safe to come
Quality having
along.
you on.
Yeah, we have to do it again, man.
Definitely.
Gotta come back, man.
You're like the podcast guy right now. Like shout out a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah, I see that. I saw that.
Imagine I've asked him to come on now. And then like,
He's copying them, man.
yeah, and then literally about 20 minutes after the conversation, I've just seen on Twitter, Marc-Anthony Okoye, we got him. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, because obviously the ball out thing as well, innit? So
Oh, okay.
I was speaking to George.
Yeah.
So I thought,
When I asked him
was
to come on, he
speaking to-
thought I was talking
yeah,
about
I'm
ball hour.
thinking, what's this? I'm like, have you shouted Brendan? Because I'm going on ball out with Brendan.
Okay.
I'm thinking, but he's like, who's Brendan? I'm thinking, hold on, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, no, it's a different.
Yeah, but when you said Kiernan, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
all right, then cool. But yeah, guys, keep liking, subscribing, sharing. yeah, #CounterAttack podcast. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, man. Thank you.
All
Thank
the
you
best
again
for the new
having me.
season as well.
Solid guy.
Thank you.
And if you
man.
can't find a club,
Give it a shout, yeah.
we won't pay what Bromley pays. We work something out.
But yeah, cool. We're out.
Easy.
Peace.